guys ready to get straight into the class trial?
Hello! How's everybody doing? It's me, Monokuma! Yay! Awesome!
No one loves you.
The class trial's gonna start, you know.
Still hate you.
So, make sure you guys come to Monokuma Rock ASAP!
No.
I'll see you soon!
Wait, it's starting already? Yeah, it's already time for the class trial. So, this again. Need to get to that place. Again. But now's not the time to be a coward. Seemed like a really short investigation, right? The reason Ibuki and Hyoko became victims, in order to find the truth. The only thing I could do was go. Or am I just insane? I don't know. I feel like it usually does take more than an hour. Because we found Ibuki's body at about 1 hour in, and it took us about an hour and 20 minutes to get through all of the clues. It felt super short. Part of it might just be usually we don't get through all of an investigation in one, because usually it's way too late into a stream. So, I don't know. Everyone who heard the announcement had gathered in front of Monokuma Rock. We don't normally start a stream with an investigation. Exactly. And soon enough.
Welcome!
Is everybody here? Do you guys want to go to the class trial?
Wait!
Hey, jerk! Hold it right there.
Monomi's such a dumb child.
Don't get in my way. You're just a dumb little sister who's short a few brain cells.
Hey!
My brain works just fine.
Hey!
Monokuma, what did you do with Nikumaru? I see. So you've come to avenge him.
That's...
Avenge? That sounds like he died. Sounds like you say. Oops.
Anyway...
Since Nekumaru is unfortunately unavailable today, let's just say he's absent.
Bye-bye!
Now then, I gotta go first.
I won't let you.
Hold on, I won't let you escape.
Hey!
Hey, did you hear what he said? Monomi's such a dumb child. Wow, heckin' rude, right? Poor Monomi. Did you hear what he just said?
Huh?
Don't worry about it. There's no way Nekomaru is dead. He's just trying to piss us off.
Damn it!
Of course he's not dead. There's no way. Not in a million years.
Well,
More importantly, it's best if we worry about ourselves for now. If something happens here, every one of us except Nekomaru will die. Why are you so excited about that?
how about it?
Who knows? Maybe I'm just looking forward to seeing some poetic justice prevail.
What do you
What are you
care
saying,
for?
fiend? You'll find out soon enough.
See?
Then let's go.
I'm gonna do it!
Alright, let's hurry and get this over with. Yeah, you're right. Stepped on the escalator and ascended towards the gaping maw of Monokuma Rock. And that's when I suddenly noticed it. I noticed our lined up silhouettes keep getting smaller and smaller. But I can't turn back now. The escalator cracks me up. It is a pretty funny escalator. If I turn back, I won't be able to press forward. Nom, 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 nom. And when everyone was inside Monokuma Rock... Munch, 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 munch. Nom, 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 nom. The elevator began its steep descent, as usual. It's always heartbreaking just seeing the numbers get less and less and less in this elevator. But nobody said a word. As we stood there trying to figure out what to say to each other, the elevator descended deeper and deeper. and when it descended as far as it could go, it finally stopped. The elevator doors opened slowly, almost tantalizingly so. Light poured from the other side, eroding the boundaries of the darkness. And I walked into that place.
What?
My! It feels pretty toothless with all these empty seats. Well, 2 people got killed at the same time, and Nekomaru's not here either.
Hey!
Is Nekomaru really not participating? If he's alive, you should invite him.
No!
Why bother?
That's...
What?
Well now.
Now then, let's begin.
Yahoo!
It's the beginning of the long-awaited class trial. Please enjoy it to your heart's content. And so the curtain of the 3rd class trial was about to open. Ibuki Miyota, the ultimate musician. She was loud, but she was the mood maker for our group. When I was with her, all of my pain and suffering just seemed to melt away. Hyoko Sayonji, the ultimate traditional dancer. Just from looking at that adorable face, you'd never know she was actually selfish and foul-mouthed. But she was trying to change herself. And she was just desperately trying to come to terms with Mahiru's death. If this stream isn't ending until we find out who killed Squishy, rage. We'll see about that. The person who killed those 2 is among us. I definitely can't believe it. But whether or not I believe it is irrelevant. Unless I figure out the truth, I won't be able to escape from this hell. That's why I must find out, no matter the cost. For our sake. For our friends' sake. For Ibuki and Hyoko's sake. And so the curtain to the 3rd class trial was about to open. This life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, has begun. Alright. Oh my god, I have so many skill points. There's so many.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial.
Do I really
During
need
the
it?
class trial,
Nope,
if
I
you
know
vote
this.
Kyle, oh well, who cares about this?
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out.
Poor Usami. I need to make that emote, poor Usami, and it's just a picture of her hanging on the rope.
You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Damn, Kazuichi.
Empty head? Huh. What's wrong with that? Listen up. The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those 2 can't participate in the arguments. Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
She's going Super Saiyan again. Dun dun dun.
Then, let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 on the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the incident happened. Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story! And then what did you do, Hajime?
Fortunately, only one shirt button broke. Oh, Aqua Fox.
I tried to stop them, of course. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell
Sorry.
the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
I'm thinking about something.
Why the motel?
Because it was close to the music venue, and unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought. But the only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital. And then I noticed Ibuki was gone, so I sprinted out of the hospital. Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko, so I pled with him in various ways to see if he could help me out.
Various ways?
Lewd. Shut up, Kazuichi. Could Gundam have been involved because he didn't want to go to the scene and the announcement wasn't made when he went with them? That would give it away? To be fair, if he would have paid attention to what Monokuma was saying, he said, oh, well, sometimes it does include the killer. It just does whatever it needs. But that does make sense. I could see him having a problem with that. That would suck, though.
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
I don't want any of these people to be killers, honestly.
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag. So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the four of us broke down the door. And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hyoko's.
Derek Prince, I recognize that voice. It's funny how different Jovine's voice is to the voice of Shino. Aburame and Kenshin? What? I don't know who you're talking about. Shino, Aburame, and Kenshin. None of those are...
And not just that. Her body was taped to a pillar.
Are you talking about Fuyuhiko? Because Fuyuhiko, I definitely make a different voice.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
Fuyuhiko? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know who these other ones are, to be honest. The only voices I recognize in this game is, the only one that I'd like is actually a voice that I know is Minori, who is Chiaki from Toradora. Or Chiaki, who is Minori from Toradora.
And so, we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who...
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true?
I hate you so much, Nagito. Huh?
Sorry, I'm only being impartial right now. And the story I just heard is clearly suspicious. Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, and the first one to discover Ibuki's body...
So I see that conversation in the chat. I have no knowledge about that show, so I'll just let you guys take care of it.
Then you could be lying as much as you want right now, right?
Lie? Why would I lie?
Obviously. So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
It's just as Kazuichi said. Nagito's the kind of guy who will confuse us and make matters worse. Damn it, I should have explained it to Nagito. Shouldn't have explained it to Nagito. I'm now in trouble thanks to that. Burden of proof. Right? I can prove it's not me though, right? Movie invitation ticket. Oh no! He's doing this to prove that it isn't
Hajime's
me.
testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself.
He knows.
That would also be a lie.
He already knows that I couldn't
I
have
think I
done
can
it.
deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is
Dang it.
Hajime's fault.
See, he specifically says that. So he specifically says that so there's an out for me there. Because there's no. He knows as a fact that I'm the only person who
Hajime's
hasn't seen the movie.
Then the fact that Ibuki.
That would also.
I don't think I can. After all,
Why would Hajime?
Well, obviously,
Did Hajime?
the fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault.
Oh, it's space. Whoops, I did that backwards. I was hitting tab instead of space. That's on me.
Hajime's testimony.
If Hajime's. Then the fact that Ibuki.
That would also.
I don't think I can. After all,
Why would Hajime?
Well, obviously,
Did Hajime kill both?
the fact that the bodies were imitating.
I think he's actually
No, that's
fishing for
wrong.
information. Not trying to troll, but be like, hey, I know you have this. I need you to say it because it
I'm
doesn't
not
make
the
sense if
killer.
I bring it up.
I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that.
See? What a little...
Each
Nagito,
person
please.
only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes, no mistakes there.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it.
I mean, technically I could have just gotten lucky, but no.
Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
hold on a sec. You're the one who brought this up in the first place.
He just wants to move the case forward, sir.
Nagito, what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation.
Which... Nagito has a hard-on for Hajime and Hope. I mean, I don't disagree where he's coming from. Like, this is actually really good. Having a more solid foundation that nobody can be doubting, rather than having to deal with it later on and have people start doubting and have a whole argument collapse. Like, there's still a really good solid base.
It also provides a good warm-up.
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
Yes, it is.
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important. Especially since this isn't a game.
I do agree with you. Regardless of what he's doing, I think you should stand by your statement. Nagito does have a hard-on for Hajime and Hope.
What a waste of time. Well, I knew it would turn out like this anyway.
Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Unless you didn't actually see something that...
Then
you
that
talked about.
seals it! Ibuki committed suicide!
If Ibuki committed suicide, then who killed Hiyoko?
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide ain't possible, huh?
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
Yes, but we still don't know who could have been hiding in there.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right? If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Bingo.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Oh, we're never gonna hear pointing again.
Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two! Sonia and Kazuichi!
Me too?
What the hell? Why's it gotta be us?
I mean, you two were the only two. He literally just explained it.
The others all have alibis. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
Dun dun dun.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru.
Me too!
Monokuma's Nekomaru impression, I love it.
Hey, why are you talking like, huh?
Shit.
You're kidding, right? You're not up to something weird, are you?
Please stop making bad jokes.
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall! Is this his professional skill?
If the killer was inside the venue, Fuyuhiko obviously thinks so, but is that really it?
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
Yes.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
Yep.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
It didn't have a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
That's a lie.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
Oh wait, that's true.
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside
Oh, good
waited
God.
till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they looked like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
But when would they have come out of hiding? It's still so confusing. That's been something before. That person's remark contradicts the truth. I should be able to prove that with my evidence. What?
The killer was still inside the music venue.
Okay.
By locking the door from the inside,
Okay.
they tried to keep us from getting in.
Yes.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
Okay, yes.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Yes. It was the broken
Are
drumstick.
you talking about the broken drumstick?
Yes.
You can use that as a bolt to
Am
lock
I
the
supposed
door.
to agree with the semi-transparent?
By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly
So they looked like...
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
Wait. That person's remark contradicts the truth. I should be able to prove that with my evidence. So am I supposed to be
the
disproving
killer was
something?
still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
But I'm agreeing with you. That broken drumstick was used to lock the door from the inside. But is that proof? It's not like I know if the door was really locked. For you
Crap!
saying it.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
Or the semi-transparent glob contradicting from the inside. Thinking, what are you trying to say, fiend?
Damn it!
Well, I feel like, why would they need more time if they already... I don't know.
The killer was still inside the music venue.
Scrap of thick paper step
By
ladders.
locking the door from the inside,
No, that's wrong!
What?
Hold on a sec. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
They didn't lock it from the outside. I didn't think about that.
from the outside. How?
The drumstick was a red herring? Dun dun dun!
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob. Like rubber, maybe?
That seems a little complicated for me. It wasn't rubber at all. That semi-transparent glove was... glue?
I see! That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
Gummy, lol. Yep, it's gummy. Facts.
glue?
Yeah, I think so too.
Only saw it from the options. I definitely get that. I wouldn't have... I mean, I kind of get it, but I don't think...
It had a firm, gel-like chewiness, and I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth.
Also, don't put glue in your mouth, kids.
Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
I didn't know glue was edible.
It's not. Don't eat it.
I believe it is not something one typically eats.
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, they must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck.
Shaki, why did you put it in your mouth,
It
though?
fits perfectly.
Lol. Also, random fact, I just noticed all of the signs match the height of the character that they're replacing. So, like, Squishy's sign is super short. I hope she didn't put it in her mouth to cover something up. I hope not. I would be heartbroken.
But if you just stick them together with glue, you'd be able to break down the door easily, you know?
That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so? It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
What you say?
Are you saying the drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose? Then I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Yep.
Apologize to Miss Sonia and me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
Someone set us up the bomb.
So,
Dun, dun, dun.
during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Even quick work has limits.
Oh, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
All your base are belong to Monokuma. Lol. Main screens turn on. I'm wondering... I don't think they taped anything. I'm trying to figure out what happened.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue, they must have done it earlier than that.
Earlier?
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right? But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too.
Oh, they prepared over Hiyoko. Oh, they papered over Hiyoko. I was wondering about that, but wouldn't that be really obvious? Like, wouldn't that just be like, oh, look, there's like a giant freaking clump of paper that doesn't look like a smooth pillar at all? That's why I was confused. I was thinking about that, but I was like, did they though?
Here, I have proof.
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
Yeah, that seems like it would be really super obvious, right?
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
That scrap that was stuck. Now I should be able to figure out what it is. Oh, is it Hangman's Gambit? Improved Hangman's Gambit. Oh boy. Wallpaper. It's wallpaper. Whoops. Ah, crap. Ah, this is bad. This is really bad. No, I needed that! No, I needed that! Thinking intensifies. Everyone shut up, I'm gonna play Hangman in my brain.
No!
That scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room?
Maybe they've relied on you being focused on the dead body. Thinking intensifies. You shouldn't have made fun of the improved Hangman's Gambit. You're not wrong.
In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there? If so...
You're right. If you overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting with the tear in the wallpaper... See? It fits perfectly.
How did we do that? We're in the trial. What? The game was like, fuck you. You're not wrong.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hyoko's body disappearing?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that.
Did they tape it around the top? And then took it down?
But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
Shh, don't worry about it. Nagito brought the whole roll of paper with him. Kappa. Lol. That scrap of paper stuck to the baton lining was part of the wallpaper found in the storage room. Is it connected to the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body? Yes. If I trace it back from there, the answer should become clear. Alright, let's give it a try. Oh, logic dive. Cool. I like logic dive. Blue. I forget what I'm supposed to hold. Shift or control? Control. Actual gameplay. Kappa. Question 1. Where did Hyoko's body suddenly appear? It was hidden. It was brought there. It was hidden. Hey, we got it right. Question 2. What did the killer use to hide the body? The wallpaper. Oh my. They're trying to make this tricky. I gotta focus, guys. Question 3. How did the killer hide the body? They formed a wall, they covered the pillar. I'm still confused as to how this exactly worked. We did it. Nagito brought the whole... Oh, never mind, that's the whole thing. Okay, it was hidden by the wallpaper that they covered the pillar with.
It's all coming together!
But wouldn't it be really obvious? Like, explain, please.
I got it! Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Okay, explain how.
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hyoko's body was already there.
But what? I mean, you can see it's a larger pillar from the picture is the funny thing. Based on the gap between the that big circle and the little circle. Like the wallpaper circle, if you know what I'm talking about. I can't point it out with my mouse because I can't. But like, how did he make a perfect pillar?
However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
But how did he make a pillar?
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
How did they make a bigger pillar? What? This person's a genius.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar. So using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
But it's clearly not hanging off of the wallpaper there.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body. and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper, and because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. If their plan took too long, Hajime could have walked in on them.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
But the crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Then, when was Hiyoko actually killed?
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
I'm quite confused, to be completely honest.
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
It was really bad.
Hey, don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
Okay, he said moth. They definitely wrote moss.
I don't eat moss balls.
What?
I just enjoy looking at them.
What?
I knew it. There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hiyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
Which, to me, was like a stretch, but whatever.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
Is it? The reason the killer imitated the two victims, I should be able to explain it. To mix up the killing order?
I see!
The reason the killer imitated two of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
But why does it
Then
matter?
Hiyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
But why does that matter?
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I'm not even crying.
I think it's Gundam,
I'll
man.
let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk!
Right?
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
She had blood on the bottom of her shoes.
But
Is that what you're getting at?
it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
Her face is so adorable, but I don't know what she's trying to get at
It
here.
seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You're one to talk.
I know she has blood on her shoes, but that's it. Anyway, if this continues, we're just going to talk in circles. I think it's best if we clarify Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed. Blood on the soles. That's the important one.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
Yes.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
No.
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Why, yes. Yes,
I
there
agree
is,
with that.
friend. I agree with that.
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something.
I guess he could have had the 4 Dark Devas of Destruction hang the wallpaper for the pillar illusion. That makes sense. Consent! Yes, that's right.
That something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Indeed.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood.
Hyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood...
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye!
Why did you do this, Gundam?
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line. But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know. You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status. However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
Enough arguing. Let us clash swords. That's how real men argue. Yep, that's about right, Cyclone. I don't know what we're doing. What? Rebuttal showdown. Okay. How is that hamster, like, on his floating scarf like that? Stepladder, candle, smudge on the floor.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to... Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood. You can't step on blood that was never... Just
oh, wait, no, that was the thing I needed
see
to...
a nice nightmare.
I messed up.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged... Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Allow me to cut through those words!
Allow me to cut through those words. But how the Dark Devas of
The
Destruction
reason there was no
duel?
blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
Don't say such foolish things! You don't have proof of that at all!
Yes, I do.
Wrecked.
If you look
Tyrannosaurus
closely,
wrecked.
There's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right?
But why does that matter?
Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Was it just so we have to think it had to be one of the other people that we saw or didn't see?
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding.
Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating. So I don't think they had to go that far.
Aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
If she died from bleeding out instantly... There's a problem with this game right here, by the way. The game said she died from blood loss, right? But if you would have just duct taped... Like, there's a lot of problems there, but we're just gonna drop it.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
Instant blood loss. Obviously.
If the time of death wasn't mentioned in the
Kappa.
Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now. Fine then, but regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Right?
Now then, let us resume our debate.
But I'm still confused. There's a lot of questions and answers.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time, too?
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
Huh? Suicide.
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is.
I was thinking the same thing, Kakane.
Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Rude.
Why me?
Super rude. Nagito always seems super close to Monokuma, right?
Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered.
Rectals. Poor Monomi. Look at that. Look at that poor bear.
For example, it's
Look at
possible
it.
Ibuki killed Hyoko and then committed
Feels
suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
No. Ibuki was just listening to what anybody told her.
That's totally impossible. Then she never would have killed her to begin with.
She's a rabbit. You're correct. My bad.
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body soon after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
Get out. Just get wrecked.
Then she was alive.
Tyrannosaurus wrecked. The Inrectables? No, that doesn't work.
When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead. If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
But that seems like such a waste.
She hanged herself. Remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
Like, why would you go to this? Like, this is such a ridiculous idea that, like, sure, we can sit it on the back shelf and be like, maybe.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
Nagito, please.
What the heck?
There's still one more issue on my mind.
Yeah, come on, bring it. It couldn't be any dumber. Definitely, there's no way.
If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw?
Oh, it was fake. Huh? Did you not realize
According
that yet,
to
Hajime?
that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right? Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
Nagito's so weird, right? No, they just said, hey, you should go kill yourself, and she was like, okay, if that's what you want.
I don't know anything about that.
Oh, Nagito doesn't know the sickness.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something. So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
So, an alibi.
Monomi's super distressed in the background, right?
Then
Poor
our
Monomi.
plan is to destroy the weakest alibi. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
It was you, Sonia. Please don't let it be you. I'm gonna be so sad.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Then, the video Hajime saw was actually live?
Behind Mikon.
What time
can't
did
see it at that
Hajime
angle.
see that video?
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hyoko was killed before Ibuki,
You're gonna be sad no matter who it is, Jovine, let's be real. Unless it's Nagito, maybe. But even then, you're gonna be nice. So you feel bad about it. I'm gonna feel bad no matter what, you're right. I know it's not Nagito, though.
that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Then, we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
But even then, you're so... stupid Nagito. I'm kind of worried it's Mikon. Dude, she's going... Look at that, Usame. She's going absolutely crazy.
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
Mikon's account, surveillance video, Fuyuhiko's account, Sonia's account, and the movie invitation ticket. Got it. We're gonna go with this one for now.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
That's not an alibi.
Everyone at the motel was doing that.
I say that's
So
not at
everyone
all
who
an
stayed
alibi.
at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
Wrecked. The murders supposedly happened before and during the morning announcement. The person who doesn't have an alibi for that time.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement,
Sorry, what's Sonia's
I
account?
was told.
Sonia's account. First things, Mikan's an out. Right up into the morning announcement, Mikan was with Hajime the whole time. That one's important. So we have, that's ours, but I don't think it's important to this one. After Fuyuhiko met Mikan in front of the hospital, they split up to search for Ibuki. Hiyoko was distraught because her kimono was disheveled. She was unable to tie it on her own. So Sonia's isn't helpful at all. Mikan's account's the only one that's helpful.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease,
That was a
if
short
nobody
lived
has an alibi, then
No, I have an alibi. Get wrecked.
No, that's wrong.
I have an alibi. That's one step closer, right?
Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikan and I both have alibis.
You two have alibis?
This doesn't sound not lewd at
Up
all.
until I saw that hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together that morning.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
Kazuichi, please.
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime.
It was a little lewd. You're 100% correct.
Too much info.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
Lol, Chiaki, right?
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
Which is
So
really...
it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
Sounds like a crappy operation, Sonia.
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was?
Huh?
Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process? Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
Dun, dun, dun.
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel.
And I'd love to know why.
I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
The killer had a different reason? If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap? Inside a trap set by one of us. If so, then whose? And what kind of trap is it? Intermission! Hey.
Hiya!
Why, hello there, Monomi! Those moss balls sure look tasty today.
Stop it!
Don't characterize me as someone who lives off moss balls. And here's some chance time! How, what? What's that? All this... this is where your idea about Hiyoko interrupting comes in, I'm guessing? I'm not sure anymore. Like, there's so much confusing stuff going on. Now then! Monomi's real appeal time starts now! Huh? Appeal time? Your kind-hearted big brother is gonna give you a chance to reclaim your honor. Good luck! Show those jerks who treat you like a red-headed stepchild who's boss. That's 99% your fault. While you were whining, time's already running out, so make your appeal simple. About 30,000 words or so. Whoa. That's too long. It'll just be a boring appeal. Come on, if your appeal's successful, there might be merchandise opportunities heading your way. Then I'm Usami, magical miracle girl Usami. I'm an itty bitty girl who's sweet like milk. Jeez, and I thought Robot's little sister was supposed to be the best.
What a disappointment!
Who are you talking about? I have no clue whatsoever. Dude, I'm so lost. I don't know what the purpose of that was, but we're gonna save our progress.
I'm Monami. Once again, I've been put in such an unreasonable situation. Seriously, he's like the king of unreasonabess. Why did it turn out like this? We were supposed to have a fun, friendly school trip, but it turned out all bloody instead. No! This definitely cannot be allowed. That's why I want you to remember this. Everyone, do your very best. Don't lose to yourself. And don't forget to save frequently.
Fourth wall breaking Usami. Previously on Danganronpa. Let's all do our best. Dun, dun, dun. The reason the killer did an imitation murder is a reason other than falsifying the murder sequence. Does something like that even exist?
Huh. It suddenly got quiet in here. Did I confuse you? If so, I wish I could die from self-loathing.
Dude, shut up.
Man, this again.
If that's the case, it would have been just dandy if they had gone ahead and killed me too. If that happened, the imitation would have been perfect. So why didn't they do that?
Well, it's against the rules to kill 3 people in the first place.
That rule is too harsh. I couldn't get killed because of that.
Oh my god. Can I slap him? I'm just like, oh my god.
Seriously, just shut up already! Shut up forever!
Yes. So much yes.
But I'm thinking about it again, and he's totally right. It feels incomplete.
Because they didn't kill 3 people like the movie did? That's only because of Monokuma's rule.
Well, did the killer know that?
It's not just that. Come on, try to remember the content of the movie. About the lion that got killed second.
It was killed improperly.
That's the one Hyoko's body was imitating, right?
Yep.
Even though we're calling it an imitation, the lion was actually pinned by arrows, right?
Let's all just hope it's not Akane or Fuyuhiko. I can't agree with the deaths of popular voice actors. Lol. I mean, I like Akane, so I would be sad if she died.
But Hyoko's body was suspended by common household duct tape.
I also currently like how Fuyuhiko is now, so...
Maybe they just used a common substitute because it was too difficult to imitate the arrows.
Well, that's probably it, but that attitude is what makes this feel incomplete. If falsifying the murder sequence was the killer's plan from the very beginning,
why wouldn't they make it more
they
like
should
it?
have taken steps to properly imitate it.
I agree.
But if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation, their entire plan would have been completely useless.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
I'm saying Hyoko's murder wasn't.
Hey.
What?
Hyoko's murder wasn't planned?
I understand that imitation wasn't enough, but aren't you making a bunch of assumptions?
It's not just the poor imitation. There are also other strange details.
Strange details? Like what?
Like, for example, why did Hyoko go to the music venue?
I have the answer to that.
You're saying the truth behind Hyoko's murder is hidden?
I have no freaking clue what you're trying to say.
MC should not be asking that question because MC knows the answer. He's just being stupid.
However, this is getting quite interesting. My 4 dark devas of destruction are getting riled up.
Why Hyoko went to the music venue? If that's the key to all this. Hamster power! No, don't forget. That's just the current form that the four dark devas of destruction are taking.
Why did Hyoko go to the music venue? There's no way we'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
Nope.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, I have a disagreement with that,
No,
though.
maybe. She went of her own free will.
I agree with that.
I agree with that. I agree with that! Oh wait, does that work?
It's just
Totally
as
does.
Sonia said. She went to the music venue of her own free will.
So, exactly as I assumed.
If no one called for her, then why did she go?
Yoko locked herself in her room because she was being overly cautious of the despair disease, you know? I don't think a person like that would leave their room just because someone called for them.
There's no way she got abducted?
Hyoko locked the room she was staying in before she went out.
If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no way she would have had time to lock it.
The killer could have locked her door, right? Just to hide the fact Hyoko got abducted.
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. They would have put it somewhere more obvious. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the crime scene if nobody finds the key. At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key, right? Then something like that.
I won't lose.
What? Excuse me?
Are you saying my gut was wrong? This could be my first and last highlight of the day. Why won't you just let me shine already?
What?
No, that's not the issue.
Shut up! Enough with your fancy talk. I'll shut you up right now.
Are you kidding me right now? This is so dumb. Sonia's account. I'm
Hyoko
100%
was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hyoko's room and forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
I can't back down!
What? Enough arguing. Let us clash swords. That's how real men and women argue.
Hyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hyoko's room and forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
Dude, I hate this game
But
so
Hyoko's
much.
room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door. So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Clash clears, lol.
Hold on. Try remembering Hyoko's body. Her kimono was on. There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer.
Allow me to cut through those words. The reason Hyoko's kimono was messed up was because she wasn't
Admit
able to
it.
properly wear it.
You suck at mashing, never run Wind Waker. Lol. No, it's a mouse, dude. Mashing a mouse is like a pain in the neck. Don't ever try to mash a mouse. Like, if it was a key, I wouldn't have a problem.
Wear her kimono?
Yeah, it's also the reason why she decided to go out on her own.
Also, Kylar's please.
Hyoko seemed to be really struggling with wearing her kimono. I believe that was one of the reasons she locked herself in her room. That is why I informed her. I told her that there was a full-length mirror at the music venue, and I suggested that she use it.
Then the reason her kimono was messed up wasn't because she fought the killer.
With Akane, it's just so in your face. I mean, there are some women in this world that have... We're just gonna drop it.
Yeah, she went to the venue on her own just to fix her messed up kimono.
I get it. I lost.
Boil me, burn me, take off my clothes. Do whatever you want to me.
Well,
Hajime, now's your chance. Make her admit defeat. Or better yet, make her do a little something something.
Kazuichi, boy, shut up! You pervert. Hell no.
Then, the killer probably couldn't have assumed that Hiyoko would go to the music venue.
Oh my gosh.
Though that may not apply to Sonia, since she provided Hiyoko with that information.
What is it with all the girls in this game? Like, take off my clothes. You mean that's not in your normal day-to-day vocabulary? I thought every... I can't even finish that.
Though I knew she would go there, there is no way I could have predicted when she would arrive.
Teen hormones, we've been over this. You know...
Don't go doubting Miss Sonia, you cretin. I'll put you and your hamsters 6 feet under.
Kazuichi, it seems you have quite the fashion sense. Do you want me to incinerate your clothes? Perhaps I could do that while you're wearing them.
Gundam,
no.
please stop! For his sake.
Oh.
What do you mean, for my sake?
Of course. I've already overlooked no less than 10 opportunities to kill you.
Even if the killer couldn't predict it, why did Hiyoko get killed in the music venue?
It coming from Akane doesn't work in her favor. You're not wrong.
The only thing I can think of is, it was an unfortunate coincidence.
I think that's correct.
Coincidence?
When she went to the venue by herself, she was probably just unlucky and walked in on the crime scene.
She was killed so there wouldn't be any loose ends?
It probably happened when the killer was preparing to kill Ibuki. The killer most likely had already placed the hemp bag over her head, and without hesitation,
Killed Hiyoko.
because the killer used that coincidence for their crime, it made this case even trickier.
That's the reason they imitated the movie to falsify the murder sequence.
Which means that low-down scoundrel didn't plan on committing imitation murders at first.
They've been cunning this far. There's no way they'd kill Ibuki.
Then what was the killer actually planning to do? There's no way they'd kill Ibuki without a plan.
Do you have any ideas?
Not like this. Poor Squishy.
Damn, we don't know the most important part.
The killer's plan from the very beginning. I'm pretty sure we're very, very close.
Hey Nagito, any ideas?
Hey, how long are you gonna stay quiet?
Oh, am I allowed to speak?
Oh. Woo, that slapback though.
I'm so happy I'm getting goosebumps. Everyone actually needs help from scum like me.
So what do you think?
What are the point of asking Nagito now? Man,
I was
right?
thinking about it while I had my mouth
What a
shut.
world.
But now I'm finally able to come to a conclusion. Ibuki definitely didn't commit suicide.
Yes, I'm pretty sure most of us already figured that out, right? Nagito, the ultimate scum.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I thought there might be a possibility that she faked her death and tampered with the crime scene. But now I remember. There was blood on Ibuki's slippers.
Oh my god.
So if she faked her death and walked around the music venue tampering with the crime scene, there'd be bloody footprints left in various places throughout the venue. So that's why I think there's no way she faked her death. There's no way Ibuki committed suicide.
Okay, not a single one of us, in his own opinion. You're not even wrong. He does think he's the ultimate scum. I just don't, like... This guy is like 10 days behind right now.
You know,
Nobody
we
cares.
already finished talking about that a while ago.
Nagito, the ultimate confusing character. A
Huh? Really?
way to not pay attention, punk.
That's annoying. I guess I should just awkwardly laugh about it then.
Are you freaking kidding me? There's no limit to how useless you can be.
Oh my god. So awkward. No. Wait a minute. If Ibuki had blood on her feet, there would be footprints if she kept walking around.
That's strange. That's very strange.
Strange? What's strange?
I see. It's not something we finished talking about. Those footprints, there's still an important clue we left overlooked. Just as Nagito said, if there had been blood on her feet, there should be footprints. Then why weren't there any footprints on the stage? Oh, you know what? No, on the, stepladder. That's really
I
important.
can prove it with this.
No, the stepladder should have bloody footprints on
Ibuki
it.
used the stepladder to hang herself. It's strange that there weren't any footprints on it.
Huh? There weren't?
Yeah, that stepladder was completely clean. No footprints or bloodstains at all.
Well, there was a bloodstain.
You noticed such a small detail! How amazing! This is truly the talent of a chosen ultimate!
What are you talking about? You were obviously leading us to this. That's why you brought up the suicide topic after all this time. Nagito Komeida? You're definitely someone I shouldn't underestimate.
But didn't you say you saw that video of Ibuki climbing the stepladder? Then I think there's no doubt that she really did climb it.
Unless what I saw wasn't really Ibuki all along. Dun dun dun!
Unless there was something funny about that video.
I see. So there was some kind of trick arranged in that video.
But that's something only Hajime would know, since he's the only one who saw that video.
Mind blown. So, just as I thought, it comes down to that. The mystery surrounding this incident is contained in that video. And whether or not we can reach that hidden truth is all up to me.
Hajime, I leave it in your hands.
As long as I leave this to you, I won't tell you to do your best, but oh well. You should get started already.
Yeah, I'll definitely try.
If there was some hidden clue in that video, I should have seen something strange as I watched it. I'm the only one who could clear that up. I'm the only one who actually saw the video. So I'm the only one who can do it. In that hanging video I saw, based on everything we know from the dates thus far, I think I should be able to figure out what's strange. The hospital gown, huh? Based on what I saw, I don't think that
Damn
was...
it!
Oh, is it that? Is it this? Because there's only one?
Damn it!
I was trying to click the actual thing.
Here!
That's what I tried to click in the first place! Get bent!
That's right, I remember now. There was definitely something strange about that video.
Komeda. I was close enough, right?
Can you explain it to us?
What's strange is that stepladder I mentioned earlier. It's true that the steps of that stepladder weren't dirty, but on one side, there was a bloodstain, right on the left side of the stepladder.
I thought you clicked on the gown. Yeah, I noticed. I should have been, like, tried to click on the stupid thing again. Because I definitely thought that was what was wrong with it.
However, that contradicts the video I saw at the hospital.
I thought because it wasn't letting me click it and it was like, you wanted to click on the gown, even though I thought I was very clearly clicking on the actual piece of metal, that it must not have been something I could actually click.
There weren't any bloodstains on the stepladder in the video. It was completely clean.
Good stuff.
That is truly strange. If the video showed the moment of Ibuki's death, then Hiyoko should have already been dead by that point.
Even so, the fact is the stepladder had blood on it at the actual crime scene.
Oh yeah, you're always close to it. Japanese pronunciation is hard even if you're familiar to agree. Part of the problem is like... Oh, by the way, I was talking about the stepladder thing that I was close, but... I know most of my stuff I'm thinking of is like part of the problem is I hate it written in like Latin letters. Japanese pronunciation is easy. I mean, technically it's always the same. The problem is when it's written... I would prefer it if it was written in Japanese characters. Because then to me it's like, oh, that's always pronounced this way. That's always pronounced this way. The problem is even then, Japanese isn't as consistent as... For example, Korean to me is insanely more consistent. Like, it's almost 100% consistent from what I can tell. There's almost no exceptions that I can think of. Other than, like, the occasional bottom things, but those are different actual, like, completely different things. They're not, like, occasionally pronounced differently. It's just, never mind.
But the stepladder in the video was completely bloodless.
Japanese Japanese is pretty consistent, but like, why do they drop the letter U if it's at the end of a sentence? But you don't say desu, you say des. But if the su is in the middle of a sentence, although I know that's a different letter, tsunami, I know that's a TSU, not an SU, whatever. Like, you always pronounce the U, but if it's at the end of the word, you don't, or specifically at the end of the sentence. Or is that just des in general? Ogenki desu ka? I don't know. That's more how you contract things. True, it's just that doesn't happen as a lot in Korean, from what I know so far.
And there's no way the video was recorded in advance. If that's the case, the only thing I can think of is...
It's possible those two stepladders were completely different.
Pronouncing the U is not incorrect, though. I mean, it would definitely get you some weird looks from people, wouldn't it?
Wait, are you saying there were 2 step ladders?
Because doesn't that make it, like, more obvious you're not a native speaker?
But where would you find another stepladder? There was only one stepladder in the music venue.
Then one of the stepladders was somewhere other than the music venue.
Dun, dun,
What do
dun.
you mean?
You're suggesting that the stepladder in the video isn't the only thing that's different. Am I right? That's amazing, Chiaki! All that gaming has given you incredible deduction skills. Is it okay to say that?
What are you two talking about?
The hospital. Stepladder is the only thing different, huh? Chiaki said the stepladder was at a different place, but if that's the case, there's a thing that's different between the video and the actual scene of the crime. Is that thing the place where the killer did something? Yes. We'll agree to disagree, I guess. I just always have been told that it's like a big deal that way. Oh my gosh. Hospita. Well, that doesn't spell hospital. meeting. Meeting room. Oh, wait. I needed that letter. Dang it. Faculty? Yes. Wait, F-I-L-M-E-D, no? What? What am I writing, guys? What's the difference between the video I saw and the actual crime scene? Figure? What? Filming location. Whoops. Dude, this is not fair at all. No! Stop it! Why do I keep doing that so close to the edge? That's so on me. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Oh, man. I wish I could just type it in. Fitness. Your face is covering how many of the letters are in the second word. Oh, my bad. But having the second word probably wouldn't help too much.
Besides the stepladder, the filming location must have been different too.
If it's Mekon, I'm gonna cry.
What do you mean?
I mean, the video I saw was not filmed at the music venue.
There's no way it's Mekon, right? Please say no.
It was filmed somewhere else.
But the hospital monitor is supposed to display footage captured by the music venue camera, you know?
Then, there's a possibility that the killer also tampered with the surveillance camera unit.
Or they could have just taken it and put a different broken one there instead. Or to just show that they filmed the video at the music venue instead of somewhere else. What did the killer do to that surveillance camera unit? Logic dive. Oh boy. Man, this is intense. They're giving me a lot of stuff I gotta do. These are like some insanely lengthy trials. I mean, I'm glad because like minigame, more fun stuff, but like holy smokes, is a lot of stuff. Question 1: which part of the surveillance camera unit did they? Both. Oh no, it's both. The camera. Oh no, it's both. I totally think it's both. And it is just the camera. I guess the trial's extra long since the investigation was so short. There you go. Why are you doing this to me? Why? Is this like necessary at all? Did the killer tamper with the camera at the music venue? I mean, the funny thing is this makes this a cooler game to speedrun, but at the same time, nobody's speedrunning this game. They took it with them. Because it's instead at the hospital itself. Hey, Rainbow Road.
It's all coming together.
I don't... It's not Wendy Lee, don't kill Faye Valentine.
That's it. The killer just brought the camera from the music venue.
Is that who Mikon's voice actress is? Or voice actor is?
With it, they made me think it was a live feed from the venue, when it was actually from somewhere else.
Then only the monitor was left in the music venue?
Yes, at least when I first discovered Ibuki's body. But when Hyoko's body appeared, the killer probably put the camera back too.
That means you should have realized that from the start and made this easier on all of us.
He did discover the body. I doubt his attention was focused on the camera.
Oh, Mikon, I was thinking of Akane. No.
Well, that's
I'm
true,
more worried about
but
Mikon.
In order to hide that the camera was missing, the killer did one more thing to the remaining monitor.
I think the killer did destroyed it.
I see!
Is that even a question? Like, what?
The killer smashed the monitor to pieces, destroying it. As long as it was in pieces, you wouldn't be able to tell if the camera was actually there or not. My attention was so focused on the body that even I couldn't have noticed something like that.
And the moment Hajime left the music venue, the killer put back the camera they took.
And they destroyed it and left that in pieces as well.
Yep. I can see that now.
It's easy to say it was filmed somewhere else, but the surveillance camera's connection wasn't that strong.
Despite Kazuichi's desperate repair efforts, it seems it could not transmit from the hospital to the motel.
The fact that it was able to connect between the hospital and the music venue is amazing enough.
Which means, even if it was filmed in a different place, as long as it's transmitting to the hospital, the range would be pretty limited. If that's the case, where was the video filmed to make it look like it was filmed at the music venue? The only possibility is that place inside that building. The room... Oh, are you kidding me? Is this another... Dude, you're killing me. You're killing me. Conference room. C-O-N-F-E. Yep, conference room. Perfect. This is gonna take so long. Oops, that's not right. Give me the letter E, or N, I mean. There we go. Come on, hurry up. There we go. 3 Hangman's Gambits, right?
I got it!
3 Hangman's Gambits, 2 logic dives, 2 sword fights. And I haven't even gotten the beat one yet.
Possible that.
So I'm not
it
even
was
close.
filmed at the hospital's conference room.
Huh?
I'm
Conference
dying.
room?
But the hospital and the music venue look completely different.
That's exactly why the killer did something to make those two places resemble each other.
This is brutal. To make the conference room look like the music venue, the killer went ahead and did some work. Gotta make it clear what that work was. Candles, curtains. I don't know what else. Like, the beat one only seems to happen at the very end. Yes and no. The other ones used to do it, or at least the last one, at the later ones, they started doing it more than one of them.
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Music venue curtain, there we go.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
I disagree.
There's no way and the music venue.
Let me get to the end, I guess.
Did the conference room look like, or did the music venue?
Or did they make some kind
Or they might have tampered with the camera.
No.
I
wasn't that
still
one.
can't believe he mixed up the filming locations.
Get bent.
Hajime, you're pretty stupid.
That was worth a shot. What? Are you pissed because I called you stupid? You're pretty cute, aren't you? But you're definitely stupid. Don't challenge me with proof that doesn't make any sense.
Damn it!
Worth it. Worth it.
There's no way the conference room and the
It's-
music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue?
I had it backwards. So they tried to make. Sorry, they
There's
purchased
no way
it.
the and the music venue.
Which place resembled? Did the conference room look like the, or did the music venue look like the conference room?
That
There
must
we
be
go.
it.
Figured it out. I didn't understand what it was trying to say there.
What
I
the killer
agree.
did was make the music venue, the crime scene, look like the conference room. They did that by using the black curtain hanging at the back of the stage.
And a candle.
From what
Oh,
I
that's what the
remember,
original.
There used to be a really flashy curtain, but after the incident, it somehow became a plain black curtain that didn't seem to be the right size.
How did nobody else notice that or say anything whatsoever?
That's right! It's so half-assed, just like Monami.
Dang! You can't say stuff like that.
Oh yeah? Well, your face looks stupid.
Yeah, you get him, girl.
That curtain was hung so the music venue would look like the conference room?
In actuality, even though the curtain in the conference room doesn't stand out, it is a black light-blocking curtain that's long enough to reach the floor.
I see. The conference room. Indeed, the floor of that room
Is also wood.
the same color as the music venue stage.
This seems like a lot of good luck lining up, though, for
So
them.
the killer chose the conference room because they realized the floor matched.
Also, what is that emote? Is that? I know it's Trix ass. Yeah.
Matching floors, matching curtains. I guess it makes sense you'd mistake the two.
Thank you. Don't call me stupid.
But that's not all. There should be something else the killer did to tamper with the evidence. Probably.
They messed with the lights, the candle. It's gotta be that, the candle.
I can prove it with this. You're referring to the candle in the music venue, right? In the video I saw, a candle was used for lighting. But if you think about it, that's pretty strange. The music venue has good lighting, so there's no reason to even use candlelight.
But
Hey.
wouldn't they have done it to make it feel creepier?
Yes, everybody does murders to care about people feeling creepy.
That might have been another reason, but the main reason was probably to tamper with evidence. The lighting in the conference room and the music venue are so different. They couldn't be used during filming. That's why the killer used a candle as film lighting instead.
Which means... Are you saying the candle in the music venue wasn't actually used?
That candle was likely placed there just to make me think it was the same candle that was used in the video.
With candlelight, you can't see things in that much detail. Maybe they were going for that effect. With that cheap-ass camera, it won't capture much in a dark area.
As long as this all matches up, it should be no problem to say this is decided.
You mean plus they needed to shut it off before actually hanging themselves? Exactly.
The video I saw wasn't filmed at the music venue. It was actually filmed at the hospital conference room.
But
If I'd found proof that evidence in the conference room was altered, we would have reached an answer sooner. But it appears the killer already covered that up, so I didn't find anything when I went there.
But there's no mistake. That's the only place within the connection range of the surveillance camera.
But I still don't know who it'd be.
The motel would have been too far, and the interior design of the movie theater is too distinctive.
But this must be a surprising turn of events for Hajime. You never suspected that the video you saw in the hospital was being filmed in the conference room.
The incident isn't happening at the scene of a crime, it's occurring in the conference room.
I don't know how this helps me. I feel like I've heard Bayside cops say that before. But isn't that the other way around?
If Ibuki's hanging video was filmed at the hospital's conference room, then was Ibuki killed at the conference room too?
No, she was killed forever ago. I mean...
No, that's not possible. Right after Hajime saw that video, he discovered Ibuki's body at the music venue.
That video was filmed there, but Ibuki's body's at the music festival, which means there was a fake somewhere. The fake must have been... the Ibuki at the conference.
I see!
Or Kana calling people
The
stupid.
person wearing the
fake
hemp bag in that video wasn't Ibuki.
Who just bought the hemp bag?
It was the killer pretending to be Ibuki. The killer put on a hospital gown, wore a hemp bag on their head, and was only pretending to be the victim.
Yep.
By that time, the real Ibuki must have already been killed.
Yep.
The
Yep.
actual
Yes, you
time of
did,
death
Kylaris. You're the real
must have been
mastermind
earlier.
here.
Probably around midnight or dawn to avoid witnesses.
If they took Ibuki from the music venue to the hospital to kill her, there's no way it happened during the day.
So that's what happened. No matter how quickly I ran, it was impossible for me to rescue Ibuki. At that moment, I was already in the killer's trap. And the one who set the trap for me was...
Why did the killer go to the trouble of making a fake video just so Hajime could go to the crime scene?
So they could get out of the hospital.
The reason the killer made a fake video. There's only one possibility I can think of. And if I examine that possibility thoroughly,
If it's me, Con, I'm gonna be so sad, but that's what everything points to me.
then naturally the killer's identity will reveal itself.
Huh?
You fiend! Are you saying you already know who the killer is?
That's right. I should already know. I should have already known who the killer is. Do I have to pick him out?
You're the only one!
No!
Nikon, you're the killer, aren't you?
Why? I knew it. I knew it all along. I hate this game.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, aren't you the killer who murdered Ibuki and Hyoko?
Killer? Huh?
I'm so sad.
I'm the killer? What is this?
Hey, don't you think that's kinda impossible?
No. Jovine's feeling right. Except you had one girl die. Both of my two top girls just died.
A chick like her as the killer? She couldn't even kill a fly. In fact, the fly would probably kill her first.
She's right. A clumsy slowpoke like me killing someone? That's completely out of the question.
Chapter 3 was a waifu slaughter. You're not even wrong. I also liked Mikan, Ibuki, and Chiaki. Right? At least Chiaki's alive.
But we're the only ones. Thanks to that video, we're the only ones who have the advantage of an alibi.
An alibi? Was that the killer's goal?
Now that you mention it, you guys brought that up earlier. Only Hajime and Mikan have an alibi.
It's just a coincidence.
But you're the only one who could have filmed that video in the hospital conference room.
Why?
Is that also a coincidence?
Why? Shouldn't you go get some rest already? You should be exhausted from nursing without sleep, right? Then, if you insist, I will use the on-call room upstairs. You must be mentally exhausted, so it's better if you relax in the lobby instead. Are we gonna start defending her? Well, I know what her... I'm pretty sure I know exactly her reasoning, and again, I kind of think I know why she did it. She was seeing somebody suffer, and the first priority to her was making the illness stop, so she thought killing somebody would make it stop. That's my only guess for her reasoning.
At that time, you said you were going to the on-call room, but you actually went to the conference room.
I'm so sad, dude. Why?
That's when you put on a hospital gown that you prepared in advance, put the bag on your head, and began filming. By doing that, you made up a video that showed Ibuki trying to hang herself at the music venue. And showed that to me.
Why would you do this? Then why didn't she kill Nagito? Why did she kill Hiyoko? Hiyoko walked in on her. Why didn't she just confess? Because she still didn't want... At the end of the day, you still don't want to die. Great human is waifu heart. Get out of here, Cyclone. Oh.
Furthermore, I saw that video at the hospital lobby. If someone wants to go to the conference room from outside, they have to pass through the lobby.
So it's impossible that someone who wasn't already in the hospital went to the conference room to film.
Not only that, the others in the hospital, Akane and I, were both delirious from the despair disease.
Ultimate Nurse gotta kill the patients to save them.
So that must mean...
That's what it feels like.
Please wait a second. What are you saying? I'm the killer? That's impossible. There's no way I could kill someone.
That's part of why you picked Ibuki, because you wouldn't have to kill anyone. You could just tell her to kill herself.
It's not literally impossible. Can't you give a better defense than that?
It just shows she can't even do that.
Hey, you sure this chick is really the killer?
Wrong! It's totally wrong! It's not what you think!
Just like Akane said, it is really hard to tie it all together. I mean, Mikan is the killer?
I agree. It is truly difficult to believe someone could be killed by such a slow-witted woman.
That slow-witted remark is not necessary.
I concur.
It's fine. I've been like this for a long time. In a tournament for social punching bags, I'd easily win first place with my soft reputation. Even I can't deny that. How many times do I have to tell you? It's impossible for me to kill someone. I'm serious. Very serious.
What do you say, Hajime?
Do you still believe this woman is the killer?
Do you hate me that much, Hajime?
No, I like you, and that's why I hate that it's the truth.
Hey, Hajime!
Everyone's ganging up on me. Tricks aside, logic aside, is she capable of this? Could it be I'm the one making a mistake? No. In fact, it'd be so much easier if I was wrong. If I have this much doubt about someone I've spent so much time with.
Can you hold on a minute?
Okay. We're gonna hold on a minute, guys. Next Tuesday.
Scream from the top of my lungs with sensuous impulse.